89th. It is stop and go. Also Western at West Britain Road. And that is traffic from the Wallaker Traffic Center on KOMA. We have someone coming in, yes, as we speak. Hello. It is Noble from McEntire Law. Hello. It is an awesome 80s weekend. It is Friday.
Yes.
My favorite time of the day when Noble McEntire of McEntire Law is back.
Thanks for having me again.
Okay, we're talking
Mine
80s.
too.
If you look at us now, we look like a couple from the 80s.
That's right. Maybe I should have bigger hair, but yeah.
Perfect.
Well, there are lots of products in the 80s that are obsolete, although some are making a comeback. Water beds. Remember water beds?
I do remember. Can you imagine that? You're
I
pumping
know
water
water
into
bed.
a bed in your house. What happens if you spring a leak? And all of a sudden you have
Oh,
water in
that'd
your
be
house.
bad.
But I do remember water beds. I never really got used to it, especially I would go to my aunt and uncle's house and they had a water bed and the heater never worked on it. And cold water is not fun to sleep on.
No.
And so I do remember water beds.
Dear Lord.
And you would have the two different types, the ones that were really like the ocean,
Right.
and then there
the
were
firm.
flat ones. But I guess air has taken the place of water.
I guess so, yes.
What are some other things? Floppy disks?
Bobby did boom
Oh my God.
Remember when Walkman first came out and you could walk around with your music and the cassette tape?
Floppy
It was
disks.
great, and you'd go through batteries like
God,
crazy.
I know all
That
about
was the greatest
those.
thing in the world.
We were free to listen to what we wanted to listen to.
Yep, and your
Yeah.
parents didn't know. But the headphones were awful back then. Remember, they weren't in your ear. They were just the ones over the top of your head with the little, I don't know, they just weren't.
I know all about floppy
How many
disk
cassettes I
running for
smuggled
me.
in that I shouldn't have been listening to.
Did you ever have a cassette break where you'd have to take the screwdriver, open it up, and then tape it back together where the break was and rewind it with your pencil?
Yes.
Yeah, I did
All
that
the time,
too.
or the
I
little
never
something would
had
come on.
that
Yep,
happen.
all the time.
Yeah,
all the
lots
time.
of good 80s products. Some are trying to make a
Yeah.
comeback, like the Walkman.
Yep.
But how about Saturday morning cartoons on networks?
Oh,
I
see,
heard a
that's
lot
back
of
when
people
you
about
wanted
that.
to watch cartoons. You couldn't get it 24 hours a day. And I mean, I remember as a kid watching it. You'd get the Bugs Bunny and the
Yeah,
Flintstones and all
Bunny.
those. I love those. Richie Rich. Remember Richie Rich?
Oh, yes.
That's probably one of my favorite ones, Richie Rich.
Mine has to be the Smurfs.
Mine's Bugs Bunny.
Because I was
How is there
6.
only one girl? And it was all
I
boy
know.
Smurfs and one girl Smurf.
What did she get up to? That's what I want to know.
I don't know where she came from, but yeah, I
And
remember
she
that
was
one as
created by Gargamel.
well. I did not remember that.
She was bad at first, and then she was good.
Sometimes I worry about you.
I think you do. Yeah, you have a right to worry about me.
I remember those movies.
You are all over the TV.
Yesterday and today. I've been all over the
Yes.
news today as well.
What's going on?
So my daughter Mackenzie got married in May, and as part of that wedding, which was her fairy tale dream wedding, it was unbelievable. She had hired a videographer, Stephen Austin Films here in Oklahoma City, and I learned in November Mackenzie was having some trouble, still hadn't gotten her footage back from the wedding, and there was some very important moments to me too, because the moment where I saw Mackenzie in her dress for the first time was there, and she and I had a very intimate conversation, and I'd like to have that too, and she just wasn't able to get it back and wasn't getting some good communication, and I said, baby girl, do you want me to get involved? Because often when I get involved, it's a different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, no, Dad, I got this. I'll continue to work with them. And I didn't think another thing about it. And 2 days ago, I saw on Channel 4 a story where 2 young couples had been defrauded by Stephen Austin. They paid their money. In my case, it was $4,000. And he had ghosted them, hadn't given their video, wasn't responding, and wasn't doing anything. And so I realized this isn't just Mackenzie. This is bigger. Didn't know how big it was. So I called Channel 4 and I said, come back, put me on the air. And they did a story last night, and the point of my story was that I don't often cross the dad lawyer line, but I didn't want to come across as a big mean trial lawyer. But I said, look, I'm a father, and he possesses some footage that we've paid for that is very important to my daughter and very important to my wife that I can't recreate. And there's some other couples out there too, and I want it. And he can ghost everybody else, but he can't ghost me. And so what I want all of the raw footage for my daughter's wedding and these other couples, because what he's done is in isolation, you can take advantage of people and you can cheat people because they think it's just me. And the average young couple can't go hire a lawyer for $5,000 or $6,000 to try to get $4,000 back. Plus, they just want their footage. I'm going to help Mackenzie get hers back. But if you've been affected, I will help every single person get their footage, and I'll do it for free for you too, because that footage that's important to my daughter is just as important to these other young couples. And at the time, I only knew about those 2 plus my daughter. I've already had 10 other couples, one reaching back as far as November 2023, that he has taken their money, will not communicate with them, and has not given their footage. So it's a much bigger problem. He has cheated many people, and his days of doing that have come to an end. And I'm a dad of my daughter, but I also understand these other dads out there are in the same situation. So to the extent I can help anybody that's been affected, give me a call. Send me an email, noble@McEntireLaw.com, and I'll do everything I can to get your footage back from this person as well.
And you can also ask Noble at TylerMedia.com.
Absolutely. Happy to help every single person that's been affected. I'll do it for nothing.
Thank you, Noble McEntire. McEntire
Thank
Law.
you, Noble McEntire.
You can call him and you can send us an email. Again, it's asknoble@TylerMedia.com.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
From the Lucky Star
Yeah, that was an awesome talk. And Jennifer Lee, I gotta tell you something. I know all about floppy disks. I know how to queen them. I know how to store data on them from a computer. I literally know how to pop a floppy disk in and listen to it. So I kind of know a little something about the 80s and you remember the cassette tapes. I remember them. I have a couple Beatles cassette tapes and a couple other cassette tapes that I like listening to, like the what's that cassette tape? I can't put my the Kings of Country. Yeah. Anybody remember that? The Kings of Country. Yeah, the Kings of Country is a good cassette tape I like listening to. So if you like floppy disks just like me, hit me up, give me a shout out, KOMA, and yeah, maybe I'll make a video for you and send it down your way, and yeah. All right, Jennifer Lee, I love you, and we all love you here, and see you next week. Bye.